Every case begins with the formation of the attorney-client relationship. In order for a client to hire us and for us to agree to take on the representation of them and their families, an agreement is signed. The agreement spells out the rights and obligations of the parties, as well as how the attorney's fees and the expenses will be handled. Every medical malpractice case is handled on a contingent fee basis. This means that the client does not have to write a check for expenses. We don't send invoices for attorney's fees or anything like that. Our getting paid for our work on the case is contingent upon us being successful. So there's a great motivator there. So when the attorney-client relationship is formed, we will also ask you to sign medical authorizations. This gives us the authority to obtain complete medical records. Once we obtain the medical records, then we begin our investigation of the case. This involves obtaining relevant medical records as well as reading the medical records. Once we obtain and study, analyze, read the medical records, we may be able to make an informed decision at that point about whether to proceed to the next phase or not. Sometimes the next phase involves retaining medical experts. And in certain cases, it could mean retaining multiple medical experts from multiple medical specialties. Experts will review the medical records and render opinions about each of the medical providers involved in the care of the patient and whether one or more of them were negligent. If the answer is no, then that's the end of the road for the case. Even if back here we felt confident that there was a case, when we do our due diligence, we may be able to determine here that it's worth going to the next stage or not. But Texas law and other states' laws require medical expert testimony to even file a lawsuit. So unlike other types of legal cases, there is a tremendous amount of work that happens on the front end before we would ever get to the point of filing a lawsuit. One thing that people ask all the time is, do I have a case? And sometimes we laugh at ourselves because we say we don't know, or it depends. And it's important that people understand that we're not trying to be funny, but sometimes we don't know because we have to go through all of these steps to determine whether you have a case. Whether you have a case depends upon obtaining the medical records, analyzing the medical records, getting medical experts, and oftentimes even we will be surprised sometimes because we will think there's a case, and then we go through all of our due diligence and it turns out that it's not a case or not a strong enough case to file a lawsuit.